Hello, hi everybody. Welcome back. VCTV. This is the Venture Capital TV from La Token, and my name is Sunny Mohanty. Hi everybody. So this is Venture Capital TV from La Token. My name is Sunny Mohanty. I'm the host and the moderator of the session today. And today we're going to discuss about investments in gaming media on entertainment. This is a very interesting topic because gaming, media, entertainment has been making news, a lot of news during this time of lockdown since last year. So let's just hear from our speakers today, all those insights and trends that's happening in this space for 2021 and beyond. So again, welcome back on VCTV. And let's start the show by a quick round of introduction of all our speakers of the panel today. Fantastic. So today I have Mark Lugo, who's joined us for the first time on a VCTV Asia episode. So let's just start with him, Mark. Hi, Mark. Welcome to VCTV Asia. Little bit of introduction and background about yourself, please.
Good morning, Sunny. I'm originally from New York City. I started my entertainment career in Miami in about 1993, 1992, more or less right after Hurricane Andrew, working on a charity concert in Miami. Right after Hurricane Andrew, I decided I liked the entertainment space and stayed doing concerts for about 10 to 11 years, opened up an advertising company that was a mobile advertising company that was basically mobile trucks running around New York City. And then we expanded to other cities like Los Angeles, Miami, different cities. We had a presence in about 13 US cities. This was in the early 2000s, right when the web crash happened. So most of our clients were .coms, so we took a bath in that. So we've seen this happen before, and I've been in entertainment ever since. Got into gaming about 2012 with some companies out in Barcelona. Moved to Barcelona, lived there for a while, and been in entertainment, gaming. Worked with all the major artists of the world, mainly in the Latin and hip hop spaces. So, I mean, I like what's happening in entertainment now, and I like what's happening in the world today, just to kind of retrospect in what you said and the intro, that the world is really moving towards an e-sport and e-gaming. Last year at this time, I was actually watching television, and I was watching the only sport that was on TV was Tetris. So at least we're moving towards a better space now. So now there's sports, there's some capacity inside the sports in the U.S. side. So, I mean, the world is different today, but I think we're making some progress. So it's good to see you all.
Wow, Mark, thank you and welcome to VCTV. Wow, what a journey so far thus far. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next, I have Lance.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. Lance, over to you, please.
Hey guys, this is Lance from Gamerforce Ventures. We are an early stage venture capital firm, headquartered in Singapore, triple headquartered in Singapore, UK, and the US. We mainly invest in esports and gaming companies, specifically those that are empowered in what we call the picks and shovels, right? What we mean by that is basically you're looking at platforms, software, data analytics. These are the kind of companies that we're looking at mainly. Right now, raising a $10 million fund. Thought it was pretty interesting. I was just reading this. So before that, I was actually in the cloud computing space. So a very different strategy back then. So we're leveraging on our knowledge of cloud, our knowledge about software as a service business models, platforms as a service business models, in order to create that kind of the kind of value for our startups and for the gaming ecosystem in general. Yeah, so happy to share any deals offline.
Wow, Thank you, Lance, and good to know about your past as well, like which industry you belonged to before. Awesome. And welcome back. Welcome back. I think it's been a while since you are on VCTV. You were on VCTV really, really long time back, I think last year. And I'm glad that you're back as well. Okay, next time. Yes. Great. Next I have Karthik. Hi, Karthik. Over to you, please, with your quick intro and background.
Thank you so much. And this is the 101st time with you. So that's special. 101 episodes with all of you, and it's been beautiful. I represent Adventure HQ and Idea Factory from the Middle East, primarily into edutech, health tech, adventure sports tech, game tech, etc. And represent a couple of family offices as well as a venture fund.
Right, fantastic. Next I have Kingsley. Hi, Kingsley. Welcome back. Good to see you back.
Yeah, good evening from Tokyo. My name is Kingsley Kobayashi. I'm a serial entrepreneur and an investor. Invest into commercial real estate. I have a particular company, so I'm into healthcare innovations, payment system, blockchain, crypto, and that includes gaming and media entertainment too, that I'm investing into. So I've been in Tokyo for 30 years, and it's good to be here again. Sonny, thank you for having me today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kingsley. Always a pleasure to have you on VCTV. Next, I have Tushar. Hi, Tushar. How are you?
I'm good, Sunny. Nice to be back on the show with you today. So I represent Consultancy Ventures. We are into venture capital investments in technology companies. And I am also venture partner with the 5 venture capital funds. And many of them do have a focus on gaming, media, and entertainment. The sector has been booming, and it's very interesting to be discussing this today on this panel. So glad to be back, Sunny. Thank you.
Thank you, Tushar, and always, good to have you on VCTV on these panels. Harsh, over to you, please. How are you, Harsh?
Yes, Sunny, glad to be back and doing well.
You can't hear you. We can't hear you, Harsh.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Better?
Lot better, yeah.
Perfect. So, doing good, thanks, and especially during current times of COVID, where India's gone into lockdowns again. So, overall, I can say I cannot complain. So, just a short background about myself. My name is Harsh Shetty. I'm a venture partner with our ventures, also a founder with Startup Hackers. We essentially help early stage startups grow their business domestically as well as internationally, and help them raise funds. Which we have a very sorry.
Someone's having an early morning.
Yes.
Early morning.
I can
bang.
The rooster. Who is in the farmland, the farmhouse?
I love this.
Countryside enjoying. Oh.
Again.
What do we hear? Chicken?
Harsh, I think you probably need to, your voice is little low, and we can hear some background noise as well.
Got it. So I'll try to be as loud as I can. So I'm a founder of Startup Hackers, venture partner with our ventures. We've done over 60 plus investments in all kinds of sectors: fintech, health tech, SaaS, media, etc. Right now, we are typically focusing on all kinds of tech companies. And just last year, we invested in a company called Horses Productions, which was into the media space and which kind of hosted India's own Shark Tank kind of a format, which was done last year. And we had some notable investors as a part of that panel as well. So looking forward to some interesting discussion today.
Thank you and welcome back, Harsh. So I think, Harsh, in the meantime, we can fix your little connections and probably the background noise. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this panel today. So as an opening remarks, I'd like to start with Mark. Mark, where's this? Who is this then? It's not me. I still hear that rooster noise. But anyways, so coming.
We don't hear you still, man.
Can everyone else please mute?
Yeah, I'll put you on mute, Harsh, for the time being while I take the question from Mark. Mark, gaming and media, what are the new trends, a new innovation that we see in the space for 2021 and entertainment?
Uh, whew, I don't know. I think we see a lot of digital. Uh, I announced on my last show, right after Tiger Woods had a an accident. I think this was last month or February, and I said Tiger Woods could still play in a PGA tour. And about a week later, he announced that he was going to play in a digital PGA tour. So he's recovering at home, and he's still be able to play in a digital version of what he does. So I mean, uh, I think because of the pandemic, the sports industry specifically, and not so much the entertainment industry, entertainment has gone virtual. So now you have artists like Mark Anthony and some other guys that are doing virtual tours. So I mean, the space has just gone into like emergency mode. I hope it's not the normal, because I think as a society we need to be together at some point in time. We can't just be all in our homes like a Wally movie or whatever, where everything's digital. I think we need to be together, and so I don't know. I think everything's just kind of going digital. Entertainment's kind of being supported by blockchain now and by crypto, and so I mean, there's a lot of fusions going on. I think it's going in a lot of different directions, but I think the direction is basically esports and virtual. You just kind of as a backup so that this doesn't happen again. Because if most of the major leagues in the U.S., at least, I can't speak on Asia, but if most of the U.S. leagues were on to esports like Europe was, the sports entertainment business would have not taken the hit that it took during the initial part of the pandemic. So I think it's just a digital thing. I mean, I'm not going crazy. I'm not a trend guy, and I've said this on a lot of shows with Kyle. I don't like to follow trends and everybody's doing something at the same time. It's not really what I like to do. I kind of like to see what's going to happen next. So I mean, I think what's going to happen next is that most of the major leagues in the U.S. are going to definitely focus towards esports, kind of almost like they focus on the live sports. And the funny thing about live sports in the U.S. is that it was suffering anyway. So I mean, it wasn't like every game is full in Yankee Stadium. And I say Yankee Stadium because when I was growing up in the Bronx, mostly Yankee Stadium was sold out. People were always wanting to be in Yankee Stadium, and now you can get a ticket for $30 or whatever. So things are changing.
Yeah, definitely it's digital. I think everybody, be it entertainment, media, gaming, I mean, everything is moving digital, and we have all adapted ourselves, I would say, in this last year to play games online rather than go stadium and do all the stuff that we do before. Thank you so much, Mark, for those opening remarks. I move to Karthik with his opening remarks, please.
So the gaming industry, I think, in the last 12 months has grown manifolds. What's changed is, like Mark was talking about, most of the sports have come on online in the online space. But esports primarily has become a mainstay. What started with a small phenomenon in Far East has now taken the Middle East by rage. Today we have sport tournaments, we have sport rallies, we have multiplayer gaming events. We have become franchisees, and we've got license houses that host these gaming events. Telecom providers have created massive bandwidths to support these gaming activities. Merchandises have been created. What PUBG did a year and a half ago with PUBG stores is what's becoming a common phenomenon. Gamification and tokenization of the games have begun, which necessarily creates a very strong reward basket around it. In-app advertisements and reason for people to download these games and then continue work building and ad revenue around it has become a mainstream revenue stream. Social gaming has become something as a trend. But more importantly, what's happening is a lot of artificial intelligence and hyper personalizations coming in both in the gaming space as well as in the entertainment space. Moving on to entertainment, if you see what Netflix has done or what Amazon Prime has done in terms of content creation, content curation, is now moving on to a very strong vernacularization of content, very strong AI-based algorithms, which creates a real-time, on-demand curation and on-demand censorship of content than last Netflix template. which was about piloting censorship modules. Also, simultaneously, content has moved from conventional content or entertainment into a very small, snackable, bit by bit consumption content, which is what TikTok's popularizing over the period of time. And hence, the online time typically, which is non-official online time, which used to be around 27 to 28 minutes in 2014-15, has gone up to as high as 170 minutes for an individual. So it's gone up by 6 times. Practically every human being, on an average, what Apple published last week, is about 6 hours 47 minutes is on his iPhone every day out of 24 hours. Now that is astounding. That's what gaming's done. Last month, I heard about one of the sponsors of a Jordanian tournament created a 6 million jackpot for a winner of an e-sport competition. 50 years ago, Wimbledon winners were not given 6 million. So if somebody wins 6 million by playing an e-sport after 3 rounds, then the world's moved differently. So I think the entire space is moving fast. A lot of startups in this space, a lot of interest in this space, a lot of consumption of media online. Handphones become the harbinger of this entire consumption story. And hence, as an investor or as a startup incubator, or even as a venture or as a family office investor, I see this as a space where I would love to be in for some more time.
Right. So just quickly, just wanted to add, because I just got a question offline. Where do gaming and casinos fall into gambling and casinos fall into this gaming space?
So depending on what jurisdictions allow, certain jurisdictions allow online gaming, certain jurisdictions don't, but it falls definitely into the online gaming space. But then there is a very fine line of validation and very fine line of authenticity in that space. So certain geographies definitely do not allow, which is why gamification is moving from dollar currency into crypto, which is held in offshore geographies. And hence a lot of other gaming platforms are able to legalize it through crypto. So yes, it is becoming, especially card-based gambling, wheel-based gambling, and online event or chance-based gambling is something becoming a trend, specifically in Far East, specifically in Southeast Asia. Subcontinent has very strong regulations in all the three countries. Middle East would never allow it. Latin America has seen a very strong rise, specifically in Brazil. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Karthik, for that. So next move to Lance. Lance, what's your opening remarks about the new trends and new innovation in gaming, media, and entertainment?
Sure. So just to say, recently I was just reading a couple of reports coming in from various sources, and what we see is a shift towards cloud-based gaming. We do see, but I think in that sense, the challenge for cloud-based gaming is how you are able to, how well they can deploy the technology in terms of the latency side, right? I do see that 5G will be something that will empower that ecosystem, right? You are talking about, so today, so one of the reports was just saying that for cloud gaming, it's projected to have 5.1 billion dollars as a market size by 2023. It's one of the fastest growing side of things. The other thing that I'm looking at is games going mobile, right? High end games going mobile, where you have AAA titles that are starting to leverage on infrastructure, right? Such as the cloud and 5G. Eventually, I do see VR might come into the picture, but not at this point. The other side of it is a lot of data analytics. We have evaluated at least 5 to 7 companies within the past 2 months, all on data analytics for games. One's doing for Steam and the Steam engine. One's doing it for mobile. Some of them are doing it for the peripheral, such as esports marketing, entertainment marketing, influencer marketing. We've evaluated deals like these, and we believe that with the power of artificial intelligence, that would give brands and sponsors a better view about their return on investments. On the blockchain side of things, we believe that, like I think Karthik mentioned earlier, gambling, and not just that. On top of that, I think there are a couple of deals that we are looking at today that are building games on top of blockchain, such as the Lightning Network. So I do think that these fundamental technologies will eventually bring gaming and entertainment and media to the next level.
Oh, yes, perfect. I think you're right. Cloud-based, blockchain-based, and crypto on the top is a fantastic use case of gaming as well. Thank you so much, Lance. Next, I have Kingsley.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Yeah. Thanks to the pandemic, the world will never be the way we know it. When I was growing up, we used to play in the grass, run around the house, go to our neighbor's place, but that is not going to be anymore. Gaming is changing, and we have to adapt to it. And some of the things that allow it to happen is you have digital payment systems that make it easy to do gaming online. You have different platforms that are helping to make that happen. Then you have smartphones. Every kid right now have a smartphone, so it's promoting gaming within the Gen Zs and the millennials. So the future that we are looking at is a future of people who are going to be doing esports, electronic sports, going to be doing gaming online. So it would be wrong for anybody not to try to invest into it because, for example, we all used to go to Vegas if we wanted to play, we want to gamble or do whatever. That's shifted. Yeah. It has shifted. I've not been to Vegas for the last 2 years, and I want to go to Vegas. But since I don't have that option, the option is to go into online gaming. Depending on which country you are, which region you are, the regulations are different. So that is why blockchain and digital payment is playing a very big role. So you have people who does power gaming, just play the game like Mark said, but right now you have kids who have different kind of games on their computers. My son have a computer like $7,000. Like, what do you need that for? He does 2 and he's on the game. So it has become the way of social interaction for them because they don't have, I want to go to Mr. John's house, Mr. Peter's house to play with the kids. That is out of the question right now. So the way we can socialize with others is through gaming. That is interaction on the social side. Then you also have gamers who do it professionally. We are moving to a stage where we are able to watch people playing basketball on multi platforms at the same time, and you have fans who are watching them. So these are things that AI can do. These are things that we are looking into investing in heavily, because when that happens, the whole game is going to change. Because I don't see the pandemic allowing people to interact the way they used to interact before, which is very sad, honestly, because the human touch is out. But at least the gaming is going to provide a platform for our children and our children's children to engage with others socially, which is missing right now. So when it comes to gaming, when it comes to entertainment, numbers have gone up so high because of what's going on. Because you can make a movie inside one room and just change the scenery. You are making the same movie, but you change the scenery, you change the position of the chair, position of the bed, and you already, it has given us that we don't have to move to a different country or a different venue to make a movie or to make stuff happen. So the adaptation of humans to what is happening right now is the ripple effect that is going to happen later in life. We're going to have people that are no longer interacting. Yes, but if you are an investor in gaming, it's an opportunity. But in real life, like Mark said, we're going to miss those things. But our children will not be used to it anyway because they're already used to be on the game day. They play games every day. So investing in gaming is a big deal. So I'm investing in gaming seriously, whether it's casual gaming, whether it's professional gaming. These platforms are going to be the next generation to make money.
Sure. I think we have lost, thank you, Kingsley, for those insights. Lovely. I'm just a little bit distracted. We've lost Karthik because of some, I don't know, connection.
Network, yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, Tushar, can we go next with you and then Harsh?
Yeah, so I concur with a lot of what the panelists have been saying on entertainment and specifically gaming. I feel that the biggest entertainment trends which have taken shape will intensify further in 2021, and that's where the opportunity lies. I mean, just look at social video. TikTok, pioneered it in a sense, although YouTube has been around since donkey's years, but TikTok made it fashionable, and especially the small time videos. And now Facebook is trying to build a mark in that field. And I was walking by a park in the city, and I remember, almost the whole park was full with youngsters making TikTok videos. And the advent of internet has, easy availability of internet, the crashing of rates has led to deepening of the usage of this service. Then I feel that more streaming services will come out. And nowadays, companies are building communities by streaming relevant video from their social media handles. And this trend will intensify. And over the top or OTT streaming services have been, in India, we have different languages. I see regional language OTT companies coming up almost every week or every month. And so that trend has intensified again. Cloud gaming will go mainstream, and it has been intensifying, and that is one trend which will continue to happen. Then esports are gaining momentum, and as Karthik said, in Dubai, it does not hold so much in India because of the COVID restrictions. But esports is here to stay. I mean, two of my clients who were looking for investment, and I was consulting them, they have their esports businesses and doing quite well. So I have this whole examples in front of me. Then podcasting will become a mainstream medium. It's almost 120 million people listen to podcasts, at least once per month in 2021, and in the US alone. So it will become mainstream. And I think also that there has been a movement towards creating new sports like bike packing, like fitness. Within fitness, there are many. It's a creation of new sports, which the trend has been going along. So these are my views on entertainment trends as of now.
Yeah. So Tushar, remember you were, please can you put your So Tushar, remember you were on an NFT panel before. So what do you think? Is NFT going to be a use case on all this gaming, entertainment, media industry? I mean, just quickly.
So, monetizing any creative work, whether it is on the sports side, entertainment side, it has been as difficult as coming out with an IPO, where you have to deal with the sophisticated investment bankers and a lot of financial regulations. So, a lot of creative people who when I speak in colleges and platforms of different colleges, so the arts community, the student community, they ask about how to monetize their creative work. Now, definitely, it was not easy, because how many can auction a painting at Sotheby's? So it's not easy. So if you have to monetize your creative work, if you have to monetize something new, something which you have created, then NFT is a very viable way. Just like JPEG painting was sold for 70 million, NFT was sold for 70 million dollars. So I feel that this medium will grow only big in the time to come.
Yeah, thank you so much. Next, I have Harsh. Thank you, Tushar. Oh, Harsh, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah, I think the voice is not very clear. It was low volume, but you can try.
So I kind of agree with what Mark and Kingsley kind of pointed out over here. Right? It's going to be a sad state of affairs when most of the physical sports kind of shifts to completely online. Just yesterday, we had WrestleMania, WWE's flagship event of the year. So they had some mentoring, but mostly it was completely online. We have IPL, which is starting in India right now, where they're not allowing attendees inside the stadiums. However, people can still see it online, right? So that could be a difficult in the longer run. One of my friend's son, we just was speaking with him yesterday. He was playing Minecraft on his phone, on his cell phone, right? And he was telling us that how did your generation kind of have fun, because we have internet, we have all these online games. What did your generation do to have fun? All these amazing things.
Because we didn't have a pandemic. We didn't, probably, I don't know. I never had I didn't see a pandemic of this sort when I was young.
I personally feel bad for him, but he feels bad for us that we didn't have access to that kind of technology. It's really amazing, how kind of completely shifted the way the perceptions are and how things are, right?
Harsh, you're not audible actually. What about others? Can you guys hear Harsh clearly, or is it just me?
No, I
No,
can't hear. I can only hear the WrestleMania part of it, which interests me. So I could hear the
Yeah.
WrestleMania part of it from him.
Harsh, are you using a phone or a laptop?
I'm using my phone because
Yeah, I think you have to change while we take, because we can't hear you actually.
let me try something else.
Yes, please try something else
Okay.
while we take.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So talking about this industry, these three industries, gaming, media, entertainment, I think they are all sort of interlinked and interdependent in some ways or the other. Because so let's talk about media and entertainment industry, how it has panned out post COVID, post pandemic. Because media, entertainment, I think Mark would agree, is not the same as before. So while Netflix and Amazon Prime has taken over, and there are less footfalls to the theaters, because I was in the downtown city center, and I could see all those theaters still. I mean, even though there is a lot of measures in place by the government for safe distancing, but I see this theater still empty. So I think the future of media and industry, media and entertainment industry has been disrupted a big time. So let's just hear from Mark. So how has it panned out post the pandemic? Mark, let me.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Now I got to start all over. I think what's happening here is that I think the media, like the players in the game, are kind of blaming the pandemic. But I think this problem was here before the pandemic, and I think it's the economy. I think the pandemic, and this is my opinion, I think that the whole pandemic is a geopolitical event, to kind of push the digital world, kind of. That's what's happening. Maybe it's not it's probably not intentional, but it's probably happening by default. But we've had a problem in entertainment for the last 10 or 15 years. I mean, we have in gaming, in sports, in media, everything, we have a problem, and it's called saturation. I mean, I know we've all had this problem when we go to Netflix and we spend 2 hours trying to figure out which movie we're going to see, and then we're sleepy, and then we go to sleep. We didn't watch no movie. All we saw was which movie we're going to watch. And the same thing's happening with sports. I mean, now I can watch UFC in Sweden, or I can watch UFC on demand in Los Angeles from 1999 or whatever. Not that UFC was around in 1999, but I mean, there's a lot to choose from now. And now there's more to choose from, because now everybody's a producer, everybody's a film entertainer, like a filmmaker, like Kingsley said. So I mean, how do we choose our content? Which way are we going to choose our content? And it's interesting because Netflix found that now they're going to choose the content for you in Latin America, because people are just spending 2 hours looking at what movie they're going to watch, and it's not becoming fun for them. So they need to push the movies that they want to their Latin American users, if you will. So, I mean, there's a lot of things happening now, but I think most of what's happening now is that there's really no structure. Before, there used to be a structure. Like okay, hey, the movie starts at 5:30. We need to get there at 4:45. It's going to take us 15 minutes to buy popcorn, and we're in the seats at 5:10. 5 minutes of previews or whatever, and then we watch the movie for an hour and a half, and then we go home or we go buy pizza. And right now, the world is really, it's too much on demand. So games are on demand, everything's on demand now, and everybody can get it, and there's a lot of content. So I mean, I see everybody saying invest, 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 invest. I would invest in what brings structure to the madness, because it's a lot of madness going on now. I mean, I gotta choose on April 17th if I'm gonna watch the game online. Am I gonna watch the Mark Anthony concert online? Am I gonna go watch the 1996 NBA on demand? Whatever happened in 1990, whatever happens. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening now. I could even webcam to watch, a zoo in South Africa if I want to. So I mean, it all depends what you want to watch. I mean, I've been homeschooling both of my sons for years, and now homeschool is popular, and I get so many questions about homeschooling. My son is 12 years old. Well, he's 13 now, but he speaks 5 languages. He's been to 60 countries. I mean, I get a lot of homeschooling questions now because homeschooling is popular. Some people are homeschooling correctly, and some people are homeschooling, in my opinion, incorrectly. So, I mean, That's what's happening in entertainment. That's what's happening in media. That's what's happening in gaming. That's what's happening in everything. I know some of the premier gamers that have been around in esports for 20 years, for 22 years, and they don't even understand what's going on. Now you have guys that are been in the space for a year and a half or 2 years, and they seem to know all the answers. And I'm like, yo, I know people. I've sat in Karad games with Gerard Piqué and his team, and they were doing esports 10 years ago in Barcelona. Yeah. 20 years ago, they had esports cafes where people were going to cafes all over Spain and play esports. So esports is not new. It's just new to a lot of people. Like Bitcoin is not new. I've sat in meetings in 2014 talking about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was about 35 cents. And now everybody talks to me about Bitcoin. NFT is not new. Bitcoin is not new. None of that. And if anybody's been in the entertainment space as long as I've been, we know that it's been licensing all along. And we've always known that it was going to be digital, because the thing about doing a concert in 1999 is that you want to record it, because you recorded it and then you sold it on VHS and then you sold it on DVD. All these things that people don't even know what a VHS is. If I ask my son what a VHS is, he doesn't know. If I ask him what a home phone is, he doesn't know either. He speaks 5 languages, 60 countries. He doesn't know what a home phone is. He doesn't know what a VHS is. So I mean, I think we had a really, really, really hard hit where it separated the old from the new, and people think that the new is really new, but the new is really not new. The new's been here. The new's been here for a long time, but I think a lot of people are just that's what we need to invest in, because that's what the narrative is. But the narrative has always been entertainment. I mean, the Coliseum was built for what? For entertainment. So the Coliseum is how many years old? 2,300 years old or whatever. So I mean, entertainment's been around for a long time. It's just changing now, and everybody's interested in becoming part of that space, because now it's easy to become famous. When I started my career in entertainment, I used to have to send UPS, FedEx, faxes, everything just to contact an entertainer and say, hey, you want to work with me? Now, Harsh, with his phone and a back connection, he can call Mark Anthony and say, hey, I'm going to offer you $200,000 to do a show in Singapore. It's that easy now. So, I mean, it's just different now. And I mean, people know me from the Kyle shows. I say what's on my mind, and I talk because I've been in this space for a long time, and I know some of the real players that are really doing it, not just acting the part. So, I mean, you have a lot of people acting the part now. So, I mean, it's interesting to watch, because I like to be an observer and say, this guy's going to fall flat on his face. And I mean, we talk about the Netflix, we talk about the YouTube, but let's talk about Meg Whitman, the lady from eBay, right?
Yeah.
She started a streaming company. She raised $2 billion. She lasted 4 or 5 months. It was called Quimby, right? We saw Quimby. When did we see Quimby the first time? We saw them run ads during the Super Bowl, in 2019. So they knew the pandemic was coming, but they didn't know how to manifest that pandemic. And with $2 billion, they lasted 4 months. How do you do something that bad and with so much experience? I mean, she was eBay, right? She was the CEO of eBay. She went to be on the CEO of HP. How do you screw up $2 billion in 4 months? Give me that chance, and I'll share with Kinsley and a whole bunch of people out here. Because I mean, how do you mess up $2 billion in 4 months on a streaming service during a pandemic? How does that happen?
Wow.
Because people are getting into spaces they don't know.
Very, very interesting and points. And Harsh, you're on a phone and a bad connection. You have to fix it ASAP.
Right now, the connection is good. Problem is, there's lots of rain.
He can still make a deal with that bad phone, though. That's the beauty of it.
There you go.
Problem is there's lots of rain going on right now. Probably that's where the difference is.
Okay, cool. Jokes apart, I think Mark. No, still very low. I think your volume, the clarity is better. The volume is low. I think Mark touched upon very good points, very practical points coming to Netflix. I think I'm the one who browses for nearly 1 hour, thinking which one to watch, which. Is it a movie? Is it a series? Is it a thriller? Is it suspense? Is it family? There's so many genres out there, like so many things there. So I agree with Mark. I keep on browsing and I just don't watch anything at the end.
You get sleepy.
But Mark just laid it down the way it is. No consequence. He just laid it down the way it is. I love that. Thank you, Mark. That's good.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah,
Mark,
same
a very
here.
interesting point regarding on demand, right? If you look at it overall, right now everything is on demand, and that is why I believe the success of Clubhouse has been. You either have to join the conversation and you lose out on it completely, right? It is that exclusivity that you have to be at that point of time. Only then can you join the conversation. It kind of adds a value to it. It kind of adds some exclusivity to it. I believe that is what Clubhouse has done very well, and that's why Clubhouse is growing that well in terms of the audience and users, because that is something that we look forward that we need to attend it at that point of time only. It just used to be like those blockbusters. You have Star Wars, which is releasing, so the people line up for the tickets to get that first show. The value of that, the premium of that cannot be underrated. That is what Clubhouse is doing, and that is probably why I believe that's the hidden secret of why Clubhouse is doing so well compared to all the other social media platforms as well.
Yeah, in a way, correct. But I'm also like, I had enough of Clubhouse. I don't know what next. As Mark said, that it's not structured. This space is not structured. It has to be structured. Before it was structured, he's so right. Before we used to plan. This is the time it takes to reach a theater. Then we have to buy popcorn. You have to buy Coke and all that stuff. Then you have to find our seats. Then sit down and watch a movie for how many minutes?
It's got to do with our behavioral tendencies. We as human beings are like others to structure us. While today we have an amazing opportunity of structuring everything as per our requirement. Imagine gaming happens on your convenience, work happens at your convenience, movies happen on demand. You're free to choose everything that you like. But the very fact that we are conditioned to be governed by forces of nature is where we fall apart and figure out that, okay, this is not something we're used to. It's exactly the way somebody migrates from a school to a college. In school, you're made to sit and learn. In college, you have a choice to learn whether you wish to or not, and which is where people squander off. So we were going through an evolution, and I think this evolution is here to stay for a while.
I think so.
When the preferable is not available, the available becomes preferable. It doesn't mean it is right. What we are missing is that we are unable to transfer our tradition and culture to our children. Right?
There's a very strong generation.
That's a big part that is going to be missing. Like he said, okay, how did we play when we were young? We play on the field. We go around the house. We go we did these things, but our children don't have that opportunity. So they have to make do with what they have. Most of the time, even when you find a movie that you think you like, you watch it halfway, you're like, I don't like this, and you change to a different movie. It happens for every one of us. But the truth is, at this moment in time, this is what is available to them. How do we make better? We hope the pandemic is over in a year or two, hopefully. I don't think it's going to be over this year. We're having the Olympics in Tokyo, and no spectators are allowed to come from abroad. I don't think that is Olympics, but we are making do with what we have. So everybody has become an expert in gaming. Even my son does gaming at home and say, okay, daddy, I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm like, okay, go ahead, put it on YouTube. That's very good. So they are not making money easily. And easy money, people want to go into it. There's no stress involved in it. You can do the game and just play the game. You don't have to read about it. You don't have to. No, people used to memorize the script for a movie. Now you don't memorize it. You just take your phone and you say something, you go in there, and that's it. So we are seeing more relaxed situation, but that does not mean that for now we invest in what is available, and we hope that this is not the norm in future. We can go back to what we do best.
Hopefully, we all wish that. Thank you, Kingsley, for sharing your insights. Yeah. Sorry. Mark, I'm going to come to you. Let's take quick insights from Lance and Tushar. Lance? You are on mute.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
We do.
Yeah, so I think Mark brought up a couple of really good points, in the sense that a lot of these technologies that we see today are not new. Artificial intelligence has been there ever since 1980s, right? So or at least the first version of it. Now here's the challenge, right? For any adoption of any new technologies, and I'm just going to share my screen for a bit. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah.
No,
so
we do not see your screen, but you can carry on presentation. Oh, okay. What's this? Yeah, we do. Wow. What are these people?
Yeah. So the thing is, how I look at this entire situation right now is, when there's a new technology that comes out, right? So for example, back then was blockchain, or earlier was artificial intelligence, or even the internet. At the start, we expect so much, right? We expect that this will change the world and all that, right? So the blue curve is actually showing us our expectations. The red curve is actually the reality of the technology itself. Now, here's the thing, right? When we first started out a new technology or a new trend, or whatever, it starts off where we get disappointed because the technology couldn't do what we expected. But then, as time goes by, we expect lesser and lesser, but yet the technology keeps improving. So it hits a certain point, which we like to call the iPhone moment, right? Which is where a lot of these new technologies start to take off, right? So we keep talking about blockchain, we keep talking about artificial intelligence. Look, here's the thing. These guys have already crossed this point, and now we are just our expectations are just catching up to what can be done with these technologies or these trends, right? So similarly, now the challenge is, how do we structure the our expectations and what we have today, right, to keep up with the pace of technological change, right? So I think it's the same situation that the media industry is going to face over the next couple of years. It's going to be the same situation that even gaming companies are going to face. So entertainment is going to face the same thing. I mean, iFlix, which is a copy of Netflix in Southeast Asia, actually was bought at a loss, right? Based on the previous round, right? So here's the thing: how do we ensure that we are able to structure this in such a way that people can accept it, but yet it gives us structure to our lives, but yet it doesn't feel too imposing, right? So I think that is the next challenge for the next media unicorn to solve.
I think you're right. I really like that curve that you just shared with the viewers and the speakers. Thank you, Lance, for doing that. Tushar, over to you, please. Next.
So, Sunny, I would like to say that it's been almost 7 years for me, and the rise of gaming, entertainment, and media is astonishing, and especially after COVID. And although media, in some sense, the print media has been going down because of COVID, and because of distribution bottlenecks, some of the other platforms are not performing so well. But by and large, the type of platforms are changing, but end of the day, the consumption is growing up. So I would welcome entrepreneurs and investors who would want to align with me. I can help get them access to funding, equity funding from angels, from VCs, from family offices. And I'm always available on LinkedIn. And please feel free to reach out, tk@consultancy.com. That's my email ID. And happy to get funding done for this exciting industry.
Thank you, Tushar. Thank you, Tushar, for that. So on that note, I want to ask, because obviously we are a platform to connect investors, startups, incubators on one platform, VCTV. But what are the success parameters? I would like to know. Like as Mark said, I mean, everybody sort of agree that there's a lot of content out there, and we are all getting sort of how to put it, like we're loving Zoom at one point of time as a medium of communication. Now StreamYard, because of a lot of other functionalities. I don't know, after this, what else is going to be there? Probably, I don't know, some AR, VR based platform, streaming platform. Who knows what's in there? So what I was asking, so to be sustainable in this space, what are the parameters needed for success when it comes to startups? Mark?
You're on mute, Mark. You're on mute.
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep doing this to me, Sonny. You keep getting my emotions up, and then I can't. I got to go back into Mark mode, right? Okay. I think what's happening is that what you just did. I mean, you were accustomed to Zoom, and now you're trying to relearn. And I think my father said it best when I started my career. It was at the start of the laptop, right? So I was replacing my laptop and my phone every 6 months, and he said, "You're going to become the most technical, advanced, bankrupt guy in the industry, because you spend more time learning your new computer, learning your new phone. He says, keep the same thing for a while until you can use it." And some of the most successful people that I know in esports, and you can look them up, they've had the same computer all the time I've known them, the last 8 or 9 years. They just go and they update their Acer and do whatever they need to do, and they create some of the world's biggest games in that industry, right? Like they just do sports games, right? And every time I sit down with him, he has the same computer. And that's what's happening now. Right. I mean, people are just going and jumping on a new iPhone, and even iPhone knew that was going to happen, because now you just buy a new iPad or a new tablet or a new anything Apple, and you have one program, and you wake up in the morning and everything's a mirror image of your old laptop. So now you don't have to worry about that, right? So that's what I'm doing. I have 2 laptops and they have exactly the same thing, right? So what's happening with me is that I'm looking at things that are going to be the future, kind of like a farmer. And we don't have a farmer's automac for this industry, for none of these industries that we're talking about. And I mean, if you operate like a farmer needs to have structure to have success. And that success comes in different times. You have crops that grow in 6 weeks, and you have crops that germinate in 6 weeks. So, I mean, you kind of have to have a structure. And I think what's happening right now in the entertainment industry, specifically gaming and esports, people think that you plant something, you sow something, and it grows in 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't work like that. And Bitcoin didn't work like that. Netflix didn't work like that. I mean, Netflix was started in 1998 or 1997. People think Netflix is new. Netflix is not new. Netflix is popular now. Fortnite was started in the late 90s. People think that Fortnite is new. Fortnite is not new. So, I mean, we have to kind of change the narrative and get investors, because we're talking about investors, to think about the long term. Like Amazon. Amazon is not new. Amazon's been around for 20 years. Amazon is probably older than some of the young guys on this panel. So, I mean, these things are not new. The aviation industry is not new. I like the newer planes better. They're more quiet. They do a lot of other things. But I mean, the thing is not new. So, I mean, our downfall as an investor is to invest in what's trending. Don't invest in what's trending. Invest in what the trend is going to produce. And that's going to produce a lot of things. And eventually there's going to come a time where Netflix is not going to be that thing where you just scroll forever. There's going to be an app that says, hey, I like these movies, and it's going to go find us and schedule your movies for you. Because, I mean, it's just not human to just run around from minute to minute. Okay, what is Sunny going to do after she finishes this show? I don't know. Probably Sunny doesn't know, right? But we had to schedule this. We had to schedule this call, because, I mean, if I didn't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I would miss the call, and the call would have been a thing of the past. But the good thing is that I could have gone to YouTube in an hour and watched the show, and I could watch it in 10 years from now, and I can watch it from 20 years from now, whatever. It's already recorded. It already became something. It's called content, right? How do we control the content creation, and how do we control the content consumption? That's the key. So, I mean, we're focusing on a lot of content creation, but we're not figuring out how we're going to consume that. So, going back to the farmer's analogy, how many cucumbers do we need? How many onions do we need? How many tomatoes do we need? Because tomatoes are popular now. Everybody's growing tomatoes, but we forget we need cucumbers and onions as well. So, I mean, that's kind of the analogy. So that's what I look at when I look at investors. I say, where do you sell this when everybody's trying to sell it? And that's the problem now. Now you can go and find movies pirated and bootlegged or whatever. So, I mean, Netflix is really not that good, because you have other people that are focused on solely pirating the Netflix movies or the HBO films or the Amazon Prime films or whatever. So, I mean, exclusive maybe for the guy who's not savvy, but the guy who's savvy can find a movie in any movie in 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, it's about too much overconsumption, in my opinion.
Right.
over content creation. The consumption is still kind of in the air.
Oh yeah, I think over content creation, I agree to that as well, Mark. Thank you so much for sharing that insights. I'm just a bit wary about the time. Would like to go next, Karthik? Let's quickly go with your success parameters and closing remarks, please.
So everything that Mark said plus my 2 cents, or 1.5 cents rather. Continuum. The industry is about continuum, and I'm a very firm believer that while this is a tech-enabled business, this is a continuum, which necessarily means it doesn't stop. Most of the people are trying to recreate a Netflix, or most of them are trying to create an electronics arts, but that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We need to build a continuum, and PUBG has shown us, or for that matter, even Netflix has shown us. It's about the depth and the variety that you could bring in. Very strong artificial intelligence, not AR, VR for that matter, but artificial intelligence, collaborative filtering, content filtering is what Netflix, Amazon, or for that matter, even TikTok today works on, which means tech-enabled applications that curate to a very strong degree of hyper-personalization is what is required. Along with this, if you try and create, or if you try and recreate a Netflix, you're going to put a lot of dollars down the drain. You would rather create allied industries and bring success in the allied industry, which means create a very strong social-based experience, create gamification, go into building in-app purchases, which is where the advertising and marketing dollars are going to come in, or create content which is very, very vernacular. While you don't want to create a streaming medium, what you necessarily need to create for success is go into downstream industries, which is content creation, vernacular, content development, content translation, content censorship, all of this and a lot more. So that's for me, success of this is about building continuity and building allied features or allied industries around it. That's how I look at it.
Thank you so much, Karthik. So let's quickly go with Kingsley, Lance, and Tushar.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. A lot of graphics, better graphics are going to be needed. Graphics when it comes to gaming, When it comes to esports and movies, we're going to need a lot of better content, better structuring, like Mark said. Not just hit and run. I'm going to make one movie. I'm going to make money, and then what? So we have to look deeper into what we're investing into. Yes, gaming media has gone up very well, especially in India. India is leading when it comes to gaming in the world right now, and half of their population is under 25, and that is a population of the millennials and the Gen Zs. Yes, I see why they are investing a lot in that space, and a lot of money is coming out of that space for them. It's not a bad business. So, but how do we marry these projects together is what I think about. Now you have project A, project B, project C. They all have, okay, these have content, these have good graphics, these have good structure. How do you marry them together? Why can't they come together and work together as one? We as investors have the opportunity to talk to each and every one of them. We can make it better for you. Mr. A has the graphics, Mr. B has the content, Mr. C has the structure. Why don't we marry these businesses together and make it better so that we have better content, we have better graphic, and we have better market for it? Then it's affordable. Because right now some of them are too expensive. But when it becomes affordable to everybody, then it becomes meaningful to the society. If we just for the few privileged ones and non-privileged ones, then we have a problem. There has to be a balance. So the truth is, I go with the farm analogy that you do not clear grass around a mango tree that will not produce. Right? If you know this mango tree is not going to produce fruit, why go and walk around it every day? That is not what we do. So we have to structure it in a way that we are able to bring them together and then invest in them together. Okay, you guys work together for a better future. So that's what I think. You all know how to get it into it. So
yeah, totally in the lines of marketing. Structure has to be brought. So there's a lot of content, and we have to structure those content. Lance and Tushar. Lance, over to you with your remarks. With this, what's the insights of the success parameters and the closing remarks? Lance and then Tushar.
Sure. Thanks, guys. I think Kingsley and Mark covered it really, really well. In the sense that you need to really, really have structure, because today, everything is so unstructured, and we need people to figure out how to put things together, how to integrate things together, and more importantly, to create a kind of ecosystem. How do you create an ecosystem around your product? How do you create an ecosystem around your services? How do you create an ecosystem as investors? How do we create an ecosystem around our portfolio? I think that would be something that the top performers of tomorrow, at least in these sectors, will need to think about. How do we create? I think it's no longer a case of product or service play. It's going to be definitely the ecosystem play from here on out. We've seen many super apps that are trying to grow, and how the reason why they command such a high valuations today is because they can create a kind of ecosystem around them. So I think, especially for media play, especially for people in gaming esports, I think you need a very, very strong ecosystem vision down the road, and a good enough and credible enough plan to execute to that point where you can create a kind of ecosystem around you. So those are just my thoughts, my 1 cent worth of thoughts on top of what the other panelists have shared. So happy to connect over LinkedIn. So just let me know. Cheers.
Thank you, Lance. I think you're right. Ecosystem is very important as well for sustainability, besides bringing in a structure. Very rightly said. Thank you so much. And yes, thanks for your participation today. Tushar?
Sunny. So media and entertainment, in India per se has been, some parts have been going up, some parts have been going down. So video on demand is up, live streaming is up, print media is down, and anything consumed over the smartphone is up, and intelligent media, which means analyzing what people are watching and then serving them targeted advertisements and monetizing that whole data piece. That's up. And contextual media is up by targeted advertisements. And so, there are a lot, many pieces to this. On the OTT side, currently, as we speak, the two of the companies which are into regional OTT are talking, and we are talking about how to enable them to expand their business. And I would welcome all the companies. Gaming, I missed out. I mean, gaming in India is, in terms of consumption, there are 300 million gamers in India, and in terms of the average hourly, not the average, the total hourly consumption, we have overtaken the US. So that's the kind of depth gaming has in India. So at Consultancy Ventures, we enable companies across consulting, across content, across getting them access to funding, getting them business. So I'm available on LinkedIn, Tushar Kansal at Consultancy Ventures, and happy to be on the show, and very interesting discussion today. Thank you, Sunny, and thank you, VCTV.
Thank you, Tushar. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Kingsley, and
thank you, Mark.
VCTV.
Thanks, guys.
I hope to see you back again. And for the viewers, please don't miss other episodes of VCTV, and you'll get a chance to meet the speakers all over again. Till then, stay safe, stay connected. I'm going to see you again on another episode of VCTV. Bye-bye. Bye.